Magnus Ha, kansson, and I took on the role as acting CEO of Renewcell 4 weeks ago now. Renewcell has a unique position in the market for circularity, bringing circularity live with a proprietary technology of using old textiles into its process industry in Sundsvall and make it pulp, which goes into fiber, which goes into finished yarn later on, and then back to clothing again. So with this technology, we have made it possible to actually achieve full circularity in the fashion retail industry. The demand from the brands haven't come at the pace that we hoped and expected, and I mean, I shouldn't talk so much for myself in that sense because I wasn't in during that period, but I think that at some point in time during the summer we could see that the demand from the brands on the fiber producers material to produce yarn from cellulose content didn't happen as quickly as we hoped. So then we have reduced our intake of raw material, and thus we have had less raw material during the beginning of the fall, and not been able to produce as much as we did in the beginning of the year. But at the same time, we haven't sold it either. So in any case, we have produced to the volume that we have been able to sell, so to say. You can discuss how much premium is justified, and that can be a discussion. But in any case, you can't avoid a discussion about a premium at some level because we are a relatively small commercial manufacturing unit. We are there with a new product that hasn't really reached scale in production and scale in raw material purchases and scope in having more production units over time. I mean, we are at a very low scale with one production unit for this company and with very little experience. So we must be able to charge some premium, and then you can discuss how big that premium will be. But over time that premium will decrease gradually with more scale and then more scope with more factories, etc., etc. We haven't considered that, and I think that is not something that one should start to talk about or think about early on in a relationship, and these are all early relationships. We have established a relationship with Sanyo in China, we have established a relationship with Lenzing in Austria, and we have other such relationships ongoing under discussion. And I think that it's in both parties' interest that this is commercially successful for both for them and for us. And for this to be commercially successful for us, we need them to take steady volumes so that we get up in scale in utilization of our production unit. For them for it to be successful, they need to have demand on the other side so that they don't buy just to put it on inventory, and that's clear. And since we are quite early in this relationship, in any case, let's see what happens before we think about what will happen with these contracts and the takeoff agreements. Well, I take the opportunity to say what I have said between the lines, that if the fashion industry and the fashion retailers really want circularity to happen, it's time to step up to that challenge and really take stance, taking leadership, and showing that by increasing demand in the product that we produce during this period, which is sort of needed for us to see that demand ramping up. So for all the brands considering it, please take a stance and do it within the next period to come.